At 2 a.m., the new female intern at my company suddenly called me.
I'm at Lichao KTV right now. Hurry up and pick me up. Bring a cup of hot milk on your way. I want to drink it as soon as I get in the car.
It's 2 a.m. and I'm not your driver.
My cousin is the HR director. Having you pick me up is a blessing for you. If you don't do it, I'll have him fire you.
Oh, so she still didn't know I was the boss. I managed over a dozen companies and tens of thousands of employees. Just because I usually wore a uniform when inspecting the workshops, this intern mistook me for a low-level technician. She forced her way into my car every day and even complained about everything.
Your seats are too hard. Get me a soft cushion tomorrow. Also, I don't really like the color of this car. Go get a pink wrap when you have time.
Before, I couldn't figure out how someone could be freeloading while acting so high and mighty. Now I understood. Turns out she had a cousin who was a director. I am going to sleep. Get a cab yourself. I hung up right away, but to my surprise, she called back again.
Are you crazy? How dare you hang up on me? I treated my cousin's family to karaoke today. If you have any sense at all, you'll hurry over, pay the KTV bill, and drop us off at home, one by one. If you do a good job, my cousin can transfer you from the workshop to the office with just one word.
Are you sure your cousin has that much power?
Of course. Last month, there was a senior employee in the marketing department who had been here for 6 years. Just because he talked back to my cousin, he was sent straight to the warehouse, and he didn't even dare to utter a peep. Don't be ungrateful.
I fell silent. Last month, a capable senior employee did indeed go to the warehouse. The VP said the employee applied for it voluntarily, and I even signed off on it. I didn't expect Lin Qianqian's cousin to be the one pulling the string. I took a deep breath and deliberately baited her. So your cousin is pretty influential in the company.
You just figured that out? My cousin said that in a while. He'll get everyone in our family into the company. By then, our family will be running the whole place.
Isn't your cousin afraid the boss will find out about this?
My cousin said the boss is the richest man in the city, with over a dozen huge enterprises under him. He doesn't have time to care about our smallest branch. As long as the boss isn't around, my cousin can do whatever he wants.
I chuckled. I had been hanging around this company almost every day recently just to find out where the problems were. Now I finally knew there were pests on the inside.
Are you coming or not? Once my family gets into the company, every single one of them will be your boss. If you don't suck up to me now, you'll suffer later.
What a coincidence. I've never liked sucking up to anyone. Since your family is so capable, figure out how to get home yourselves. I hung up the phone right then. Lin Qianqian furiously sent me a message saying she would not only have her cousin fire me, but also get me blacklisted from the entire industry. I managed over a dozen companies and was worth tens of billions. Yet I was being threatened with a blacklist by an intern. But what really caught my attention was that a mere HR director couldn't possibly have that much power. It seemed the company's pests had already infiltrated the upper management. I immediately sent a message to the company's VP. Send out a notice. I'm holding a general staff meeting at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and everyone must be there. Early the next morning, I drove to the company as usual. As soon as I got out of the car, I saw Lin Qianqian and a man in a suit blocking the entrance.
Cousin, that's him. Even you, the HR director, haven't seen him before. He must have gotten in through the back door. Fire him right now.
So he got in through the back door. No wonder he's so clueless.
I usually kept a low profile when coming to the company, and only the core executives knew my identity. As an HR director, he naturally had no right to meet me.
For the sake of you driving my cousin around for a month, I can allow you to stay in the company. But you have to pay a 50,000 connection fee, transferred directly to my account. Also, since you didn't pick us up yesterday, the cab fare, the karaoke bill, plus my cousin's emotional distress compensation will cost you 15,000. So you owe us a total of 65,000 yuan, cash or transfer.
I never imagined that, as a billionaire CEO, I'd be blatantly extorted for an entry fee by an employee right at the door of my own company. Zhang Ziqiang pulled up his payment QR code, expecting me to just pay up. Surprisingly, the employees around us acted like this was completely normal. Does everyone who wants to join the company have to pay you a 50,000 yuan connection fee? What if I refuse?
Refuse? The big boss is coming in person for a meeting today. All I have to do is mention to him that you're an illegal nepotism hire. And not only will you lose your job, but the person who got you in will go down with you.
Cousin, is the boss really coming today? Do you know what kind of women he likes? Do you think I have a chance?
You're young and pretty. No man could resist you. When the boss gets here, I'll introduce you to him. If you can win his heart, our family will truly skyrocket.
Watching them, I couldn't help but sigh. The boss definitely wouldn't like someone like you.
What do you know, you bottom-feeding hillbilly? Hurry up and pay the money, or else when I become the CEO's wife, you won't even be qualified to kiss up to me.
I'm not giving you a dime. I'd like to see what exactly you can do to me.
Security! Hurry up and kick this illegal bottom-tier factory worker out.
A few security guards immediately stepped forward. Right at that critical moment, VP Liao Hai arrived.
What's going on? Why is everyone gathered at the entrance?
VP Liao, I just caught an illegal nepotism hire. Plus, this guy has a terrible attitude and was bad-mouthing the boss. I was worried he might offend the boss, so I was just about to kick him out.
He actually dared to badmouth the boss? Show me who it is.
It's this bottom-tier trash.
Liao Hai followed Zhang Zichang's pointing finger and looked at me. The moment he saw my face, his eyes widened in shock and his voice trembled.
Boss?
Liao Hai's boss instantly plunged the whole place into dead silence. 2 seconds later, Zhang Zichang suddenly burst out laughing.
VP Liao, are you joking? Him? The boss? Did you not sleep well last night and your eyes are playing tricks on you?
Yeah, VP Liao. He's just a bottom-tier technician who runs to the factory floor every day. How could he be the boss? Our boss is the richest man in the city, worth billions. And him? Wearing cheap street clothes and driving a 100,000 yuan commuter car, how does he look like a boss at all?
VP Liao, you haven't been fooled by this scammer, have you?
Zhang Ziqiang, shut your mouth.
Liao Hai quickly walked up to me, bowed at a 90-degree angle, his voice shaking.
President Shen, I'm so sorry. It's my poor management that caused you to be wronged.
Director Zhang, what do you think a company boss should look like? Wearing designer suits, driving luxury cars, and sitting in an air-conditioned office.
Of course, the boss is the face of the company. Look at you. Where is there even a hint of a boss's aura on you?
Exactly. My cousin is right. If you're the boss, I'll lick the threshold of this company clean.
Shut up, all of you. This is the founder, chairman, and CEO of our company, Shen Yanzhou, President Shen. He wears work clothes to the factory floor every day to personally experience the working conditions of our frontline employees. You guys are in massive trouble.
Liao Hai's voice was deafening. The crowd that was just mocking my identity instantly froze.
VP Liao, are you sure he's really President Shen?
Nonsense. Daring to extort a 65,000 yuan connection fee from the company boss right at the entrance. Do you have any idea? You're digging your own grave?
Zhang Zichang's face suddenly went pale. His phone screen still stuck on that payment QR code. Lin Qianqian's face was completely drained of color.
Impossible. How could you be the boss?
Zhang Zichang immediately snapped out of it and plastered a smile on his face.
President Shen, this is truly a misunderstanding between our own people. That 65,000 I asked for earlier was just a joke. A big boss like you wouldn't take it seriously, right?
Exactly. President Shen, I was just joking with you too. We just got off on the wrong foot, that's all. Think about it. Why didn't I get into anyone else's car but yours? It means we have a connection. It's all arranged by fate.
I looked at her without saying a word. Her smile started to slip, but she was still trying to hold it together.
Besides, me riding in your car makes you look good. Think about it. Having a pretty young girl in your car every day, it gives you a lot of face.
Lin Qianqian.
What is it, President Shen?
Didn't you just say that if I were the boss of the company, you'd lick the threshold clean? Lin Qianqian froze, the flattering smile on her face completely shattering.
President Shen, I was just joking. How could you take that seriously?
A few minutes later, all the employees gathered in the conference room. Those who had mocked me earlier were trembling with fear. First order of business. VP Liao, how much do you know about the veteran employee Li Zhen from the marketing department being transferred to the warehouse last month?
Director Zhang submitted the application at the time, saying Old Li voluntarily requested the transfer.
Director Zhang, are you sure Old Li requested it voluntarily?
President Shen, Old Li really did apply for it himself. I have the application form with his signature right here.
Is that so? Then why is it that when I sent someone to investigate, Old Li's wife said he was forcibly transferred to the warehouse because he had an argument with you and was even diagnosed with moderate depression because of it and is now hospitalized for treatment? Zhang Zichang's body jerked violently and sweat started beading on his forehead.
President Shen, there might be some misunderstanding. Old Li really was.
Zhang Zichang, are you sure you want to keep making things up in front of all the employees?
President Shen, I've been with the company for 5 years without taking a single day off. I've worked my heart out for this company.
Worked your heart out? So you collecting a connection fee from employees was also for the company's benefit?
President Shen, the little money I collected was all used to grease the wheels for the company. Do the math. The employees I've hired over the past 5 years have generated at least 100 million in revenue for the company. That's not a low return on investment, is it?
What about Old Lee? He worked in the marketing department for 6 years, bringing in at least 10 million in performance for the company every year.
President Shen, Old Lee just had too hot of a temper. I transferred him away for the sake of our company's unity.
Zhang Ziqiang, your 5 years of accepting a connection fee, colluding with outsiders, and embezzling budgets, I've investigated it all clearly. As of today, you are dismissed from your position as HR director.
President Shen, you can't do this! Even if I don't have achievements, I've put in the hard work!
Driving a veteran employee to depression, you call that hard work? You pocketed millions from the company. Go settle this score with the police yourself. Liao Hai, call the cops! Zhang Ziqiang completely panicked, instantly collapsing to the floor. I didn't look at him again and turned to Lin Qianqian.
President Shen, I really didn't mean it. If I had known you were the boss, I wouldn't have dared to do that, even if you beat me to death.
Of course I know. After all, you still want to be the CEO's wife? Lin Qianqian's face stiffened, but then she blinked her eyes and started acting cute.
President Shen, look at it from another angle. We've been commuting to and from work together every day for the past month. Isn't that a kind of destiny? Actually, I've already been deeply attracted to you. Why don't you give me another chance?
Do you think that's possible? Relying on your connections to bully colleagues, acting so arrogant? As of right now, you're fired. Zhang Ziqiang was taken away by the police, leaving the conference room in dead silence. I announced on the spot the establishment of the internal audit team to strictly investigate all corruption. After work, I drove home as usual, only to run into a red-eyed Lin Qianqian again in the parking lot. She dashed forward and, just like before, let herself right into my passenger seat.
President Shen, you can't just fire me like this. If it were a real workshop worker being treated like that by me, would you still fire me?
Let me tell you clearly. Yes, I would.
Impossible. You're not firing me because I did anything wrong. You're doing it because I offended you, because your ego got hurt.
You really are hopeless. Lin Qianqian, I'm firing you because you abuse your connections to bully others, and you spend all your time forming cliques and sucking up to the higher-ups.
Then, President Shen, do you hate me? Or are you firing me because you're afraid you'll fall for me?
You think you're that charming? She completely missed my sarcasm. Instead, she immediately tucked her hair behind her ear and slowly rested her hand on my arm.
President Shen, I know I was wrong before, but I can make it up to you in any way you want. You manage so many companies all by yourself. Don't you want a young, pretty woman like me to help you relieve some stress?
If you're trying to seduce me to fast-track your career, give it up. A flash of resentment crossed Lin Qianqian's eyes. The next second, she simply unbuttoned her shirt and lunged at me. I shoved her away hard. Lin Qianqian, get out of my car! Lin Qianqian stumbled out of the car, her eyes full of venom.
President Shen, you think firing me and my cousin is the end of it? Let me tell you, he has connections at the top. You'll regret treating us like this.
Of course I knew Zhang Ziqiang had connections. Half a month later, their revenge came just as expected. On social media, a video of them playing the victim was going viral.
Hello everyone. I worked diligently for Shengtian Group for 5 years, but the boss not only fired me, but also smeared my name. I couldn't take the blow and had a heart attack. I was in emergency care for 3 days just to survive.
The scene cut to Lin Qianqian. Wearing a white dress with red, swollen eyes, she looked pitiful and innocent.
I just saw someone from the company going my way, so I begged him to give me a ride. I was already very polite. Just because I didn't recognize him as the boss, does he have to humiliate me, fire me, and blacklist me like this? Can rich people just do whatever they want? Do employees deserve to be driven to their deaths? I entered the workplace full of hope, but just because I didn't recognize him as the boss and took a ride in his car, I was publicly humiliated, fired, and blacklisted. Can rich people just do whatever they want? Do employees deserve to be driven to their deaths?
What a trash boss! Bullying wage earners just because he has some filthy money. Capitalists like him should be shot. Once the video was posted, I became the target of public outrage online. Paid trolls frantically spread rumors that I flew into a rage after failing to sleep with a female employee, and they even photoshopped my picture into a black and white funeral portrait.
President Shen, something's wrong. The internet is flooded with insults against you. Should we issue a statement to clarify?
No rush. If we issue a statement now, people will just think we're trying to cover things up. Let them put on their show. It won't be too late to reel in the net once they've had enough. Early the next morning, as soon as I drove up to the company entrance, I saw a crowd holding banners and frantically banging on my car windows.
Are you Shen Yanzhou? What kind of man bullies a little girl? If you have the guts, get out here and face us.
I looked at these self-righteous people through the window. They had no idea that the so-called victims they were defending were the real villains. I took out my phone and sent a message to my assistant. You can start now. 10 minutes later, an investigation report on the Zhang Ziqiang and Lin Qianqian incident dropped right on the front page of the company's official website. Part 1 detailed Zhang Ziqiang's disciplinary violations over the past 5 years. It included bank transfer records, chat screenshots of his insider collusion, and financial vouchers. Investigations confirmed that he had accepted a connection fee totaling over 3.2 million yuan. Part 2 revealed the truth about Zhang Ziqiang bullying veteran employees, accompanied by audio recordings from the victims.
Li Zhan, don't be ungrateful. I arranged for my cousin to join the marketing department because I think highly of you. If you dare say no again, you'll report to the warehouse tomorrow. I'd like to see what kind of performance you can pull off in the warehouse.
Part 3 completely exposed Lin Qianqian's arrogant behavior in the car, captured by the dashcam.
My cousin is the company's HR director. It's your blessing to drive me around. If you don't do as I say, I'll have him fire you.
Part 4 the truth behind their victim act. Surveillance footage showed Zhang Ziqiang never had a heart attack, and Lin Qianqian had been shopping every day in heavy makeup, living her best life. So he's a parasite who embezzled over 3 million. And Lin Qianqian hitched a ride and still acted so picky. Does she really think she's a princess? People like them should rot in jail. Public opinion flipped instantly. That afternoon, Zhang Ziqiang, Yao Ping, and Lin Qianqian were officially taken away by the police to pay for their crimes. The dust had settled, but I knew there was still one person left to deal with. I called VP Liao Hai into my office.
President Shen, you wanted to see me?
Zhang Ziqiang putting on this whole show, you were helping him behind the scenes, weren't you?
You've got me wrong, President Shen. I've been completely loyal to you. How could I do something like that?
I slid a document across the desk to him. Completely loyal? Then explain to me why half of the over 3 million in connection fees Zhang Ziqiang collected flowed into your wife's account? Liao Hai's face turned deathly pale in an instant.
President Shen, this must be a misunderstanding.
I opened my laptop and pulled up a bank statement. Zhang Ziqiang confessed everything. He wired you money every month, and in exchange, you suppressed all the whistleblower letters and covered for him during internal investigations. The application to transfer Li Zhenye to the warehouse, you approved that too, didn't you? Zhang Ziqiang said he wanted to bring his entire extended family into the company so his family could run the whole place. He needed a VP like you to nod along for that to happen. Liao Hai, do you think this company belongs to you now? Faced with the irrefutable evidence of the bank statements, Liao Hai trembled, completely panicking.
President Shen, I was wrong. I was really wrong. I just had a moment of weakness and let that guy Zhang Ziqiang drag me down with him. I have elderly parents and young kids to feed. Please give me another chance.
When you two teamed up to screw over other employees and exploit them, why didn't you think about giving them a way out? I ignored his begging and directly called my assistant. Assistant Zhu, call security up here. Liao Hai completely broke down. His legs gave out and he dropped straight to his knees.
President Shen, you can't do this. I've worked my heart out for this company for 7 years. Even if I haven't made great contributions, I've put in the hard work.
The company has already rewarded your hard work with 7 years of high salary. But you helped Zhang Ziqiang bully employees, covered up his corruption, and treated the company like your personal ATM. You can settle that score with the police. Security quickly came up and dragged the limp Liao Hai out. The final verdict. For his various crimes, Zhang Ziqiang was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Liao Hai was sentenced to 3 years in prison for covering up bribery. As for Lin Qianqian, she was sentenced to 3 years in prison for defamation and slander. As for the framed veteran employee Li Zhenye, I covered all his medical expenses and personally invited him back to the company. Not only was he reinstated, but he also got a promotion and a raise.
President Shen, thank you.
It's what I should do. After that day, I issued a serious statement to everyone in the group. Expand the scope of internal audits to all branch offices. Every department, every person must be strictly investigated. No matter who we find, no matter how high their position or how strong their background is, they will be dealt with severely. This war to clear out the pests has only just begun.